BC is one step, meanwhile, closer to getting rid of seasonal time changes. Today, the government tabled legislation to keep the province on permanent daylight saving time. But could that mean headaches for BC businesses and the rest of the country? The CBC's Greg Rasmussen has more on the story from Vancouver. Hi, Greg.
Hi there.
What drove the decision to table this bill?
Well, there are a couple things. First of all, the U.S. Pacific states, California, the big one, Oregon, Washington State, and even the Yukon are talking about moving away from these time switches, just sticking with daylight saving time year-round. And obviously there are big economic and social and cultural links all up and down the West Coast, so BC is trying to stay on top of it in that sense. And also there was a recent public consultation. This has been an issue, as you know, for many years. And so they heard back from, I think, 220,000 British Columbians on this subject. And the Premier was saying that 93% of the respondents are hoping to stick with daylight saving time throughout the year.
So what about the people who aren't too pleased with it? I'm speaking particularly of businesses. What did the Premier have to say to them?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to those for and against. There are all kinds of different issues. For instance, the ski operators are a bit worried about it because it would mean it'd be dark earlier in the morning, so they wouldn't be able to open the lifts quite as early, so it'd be a shift for them. I think the golf industry is also against it. Others say it's one of these things that it has health issues and all kinds of things. So here's a quick clip of the Premier, John Horgan, today talking about where this is headed.
Having the time period between now and springing forward in 2020 to have those conversations, I think that's appropriate. I know that there will be those who are content with the status quo. There will be those who would prefer to stay on standard time, but it's our view that the overwhelming number of British Columbians want to move to permanent daylight savings time.
So today what they've done is they've introduced enabling legislation, and they've come up with the term Pacific time is what they're going to call it, not Pacific Daylight Savings or Pacific Standard Time, just flat out Pacific time. So when they feel the moment's right, then they can simply make the changes without having to go back to the legislature. They can just bring in this time change. But there are a lot of obstacles. As I mentioned, there are concerns about the impact on health, this idea that sunrise at the darkest day of the year in late December, you wouldn't see the sun come up till around 9 a.m. Pacific time. Then of course there's the issue of coordination with other provinces because it would change the relationship between the BC time and the rest of Canada. So lots to work through here in the months ahead, and uncertainty, as I said at the outset, because a lot of this is being driven by what's happening with the Pacific states south of the border.
Gotcha. All right, thank you, Greg. Greg Rasmussen in Vancouver for us. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.